Yes, Joseph. The question again? Dual identity, yes, that's the question. That's a really tricky question because it's something I constantly wrestle with. Whether it's maybe not dual, it's multiple identities. And so like I said, I'm a self-proclaimed Catholic, and I do think a lot about why I'm a practicing Catholic, but there are certain parts of the Catholic Church that I really kind of wrestle with quite a bit. Yet I still go to church and I still give offering every Sunday. So there's, and I'm not very apologetic about that, but at the same time I'm not. I try to wrestle with exactly why I still feel comfortable, and I think a lot of it has to do with where I grew up. Like I said, the fact that we were kind of this last stronghold of people who stood up to sweeping through the country what was Methodists, and that's like one pride point that I can hold on to, or at least that our people did hold on to. Not sure Catholics back in La Paja today would say the same thing. I've been 20 years removed from La Paja now, so what I'm grasping onto is something I remember, and so I think it's very not what the reality is today. So there's the Catholic thing, there's who I am when I walk into the doors at work. I'm an advocate of all communities. That a lot of the time in how the reality of the work I do, that means my people, the PIs, our issues are kind of last on the hierarchy there. That's just the reality of the space that I work in. Because our numbers dictate where the resources go. And of course, as you know, there's barely any of us in higher ed, as Mahalani mentioned, whereas I think UW is about 0.6% Pacific Islanders. So we're a fraction of a number, right? So, and that wears on you, that stays with you. And so when you go home, you don't really want to do anything else. I don't really want to get into community work, so I definitely wrestle with it. As far as how I try to make sure that I feel whole again, I go back to my art. And really that's, the storytelling is what I really hold on to, and I think that's where I can get out my frustration, I can really pour in some creative power into that, and really own what I'm creating. I realize that a lot of it's influenced by what I've seen and what I've grown up with, but I don't care. This is mine. I'm doing this, and I'm going to share it with people. And I think that's where I feel I have control. And based on that, I'm going to share that with my little baby so that she continues to grow. My partner is very supportive of this, trying to make sure that her identity as a Japanese American is also in there. So it's very complex, but I know for a fact that in my art and storytelling is what I can make sure is keeping me whole.